Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well. Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
Call to order the Rec Advisory Board meeting for Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. Let's start with introductions. Jen Harrington, Chair.
Mike Whistler, member.
Stephanie Papakostin-Dees, member.
Dan Provost, member.
And Nick.
Nick Norton, Vice Chair.
Greg Beeson, Exeter Parks and Recreation Director.
David Tovey, Assistant Director.
Caroline Neal, Recreation Coordinator.
Great. We don't have anybody here from the public, but public is always welcome to join. So we'll move on to the approval of the minutes from our last meeting that was held on October 22nd, 2025. I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the minutes of October 23rd, did you say?
22nd.
22nd.
Second.
All right. Since we have a second, we will vote by saying yes.
And your name, Steve.
All right. I'll go first. Jen Harrington, I approve the minutes.
Mike Whistler, I approve the minutes.
Stephanie Papakostin-Dees, approve.
Dan Provost, I approve.
Nick Norton, I approve.
All right. So the minutes for 10/22/2025 have been approved 5-0. And we will move on to recaps. Looks like we're starting with 10 Hampton Road.
Yes, for the general public and everyone that can make it, thank you for coming. We had our grand opening. We've been in the building now approximately 5 weeks. Still shipping away stuff that was not in our scope that we've discovered that needs to get done to make the building more usable. One thing that we did was put acoustic panels in the large room upstairs. When we first moved in, unfortunately, Families First had a child that screamed the whole entire play group, and it was just an echo chamber throughout the whole building. So we knew that we had to address echoing. These panels work so well. We're looking at possibly in 2026 adding more into some of our other rooms to reduce any echoing. Some safety things we've discovered. We're trying to work with DPW to put some lights in the parking lot. It gets dark up there. And then we're just slowly adding hooks and little knickknacks and getting into the routine of things. But it was a great show up for those that didn't get to attend. We had 100+ people packed into that place. They were lined up Hampton Road and parking in adjacent properties, and even walking up from 4 Hampton Road on that accessible pathway we keep clear. So we have overflow parking, and it's been a steady stream of people coming in, enjoying the center. We've had seniors in the senior lounge just relaxing, chit-chatting. We use that as our kind of staging area for our trips. We have them go in there so they can sit down and relax, because our lobby is not very big. So we just can't have them standing around the lobby. But I think we definitely are thrilled with the space, and I let Caroline and David talk. I think as we grow into it, I mean, both of them have ideas of what programs they want to see, and that's what when we go on and talk about financial sustainability later, thinking about what programs we really want to emphasize in the building. So, do you two want to chime in on?
Yeah, it's just been really great seeing the community's reaction to it. We got a lot of seniors that come through our doors, and their reaction is just wonderful. They're really excited to have a place to be, a place to congregate, a place to feel welcome. So that's really nice. And also, like, our Families First, our preschool play group, they love the space, and it's really nice to just have a nice big open space, having a lift to make it more accessible. So it's just really wonderful. Everyone's very excited about it, as are we.
And plenty of parking.
Yes.
The parking, we haven't had an issue besides the grand opening.
Right.
So,
And it made USA Today.
yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
See it in the paper.
Yeah, it was in Seacoast Online, and as Caroline was talking earlier, it was a snapshot of 50 states. So that's what they picked for New Hampshire as our grand opening, and seeing it was Seacoast Online and USA Today are owned by the same parent company, it was easy for them to pick up.
Nice.
Nice.
That's it.
All right. I'm just curious if there's anything that you need. I know it seemed very well furnished, but was just wondering if there was anything else that was
Yeah,
missed.
actually, there's a couple organizations. One of the things I know we've identified is a lot of people on the far end where the accessible ramp is like to enter that way. Due to budgetary restraints, we couldn't put the button to open it up. So you still have to open up manually. I think we want to fix that and have that button out there so people can hit it, then open it up. I can't really think of any other.
Totes and shelving for the
Yeah.
closets.
We're going to be.
Little things.
And we're going through it. It's years of accumulated equipment we have that we need to really go through and see what we actually don't need. And furniture, I got to say thank you to Riverwoods. Riverwoods did provide some very nice furniture
Very nice
for
furniture.
the senior lounge and our waiting area in the hallways where. And we have opportunity to pick up more furniture if we wanted to, but we don't have space. But also, Alan Mangan from the Facilities Committee did help us get a lot of our other furniture. So that's something I'd love to emphasize is we pretty much furnished the whole place for nothing.
And we got a lot of other donations as well, like some TVs, as well as over the years, like since we learned that we were moving into buildings, people have been like, do you need puzzle donations? Do you need game donations? So we've been collecting those, and they're in the senior lounge, and it's really nice. So not just furniture, but also some nice little amenities.
And Exeter, Dave Tovey and Julia Lantern work together, and the library's given us books so seniors can come into the senior lounge. We have bookshelves full of books that they can just take the book. They don't need to return it. If anyone wants to drop off some or some good books, we're happy to take them. We have plenty of shelf space left in our book nook.
Do you have kids' books, like a kid area too with kids' books?
We
shelves?
don't really have kids' books because we don't really have shelves in the programming areas. It's really more of, we want the seniors to feel like, oh, I can get a book, come sit on the nice leather couch that we have in there, or one of the puzzle chair, and just read and sit and have a cup of coffee or tea with us.
Nice.
Well, I have to say, having not been there in the interim renovations, I was blown away. Place looks great.
We really got that. HDC, Hampshire Development Corporation, did an outstanding job maximizing our budget. Yes, as we talked about last time, we did go over budget, but we knew we had a contingency that we really didn't have the money for the contingency. So that's why we've been really building up the rec revolving fund over these years to cover these costs and continue to cover the cost of some of the things we're chipping away at, like a couple set of spotlights are $50. So I got to go out and buy spotlights so we can put them in, so we can light up the parking lot enough where it's safe for people out there at night. And we're making it a very smart building as well. Is all our lights are on like smart timers, so these spotlights will be on smart switches as well. So we'll have them on a timer, so they'll shut off automatically. But if David or Caroline or an intern are doing a trip and it's after the timer has gone off, they can download the app, log in, and turn on the light from their phone. So we're trying to make it as tech savvy as possible. And because of Black Friday, we actually bought a couple of their Narwhal robot vacuum mops. So they go around and they do a fairly good job. Obviously, they don't pick up a big ton of debris, but if we have them, once we get them down to the routine of going out every day, mopping and vacuuming, having someone come in won't be as challenging. Right now, we have a cleaning company coming in 3 nights a week to do all the bathrooms and high touch surfaces, and then in 2026, we're going to be we're going to have to pay for our own janitorial. So it's going to be, we're still trying to figure out how it's going to work.
We'll get to that in a little bit with the financial sustainability. Okay.
Great. If there's no more questions, we'll move on to winter review.
So we kicked off our Gunstock Ski and Ride program. So Registration for that closed in November, and the mountain is open, so people are skiing. We're up to 46 participants in that, with 22 kids in lessons, which is an increase, a 9% increase from last year, so that's really great. And those lessons start that first week of January, and the conditions up there are already great. They already have like half a mountain, more than half a mountain open, so very exciting. And I just want to give a shout out to Jason Fritz over at the fire department, because he's going to be like our volunteer on the mountain, so huge thanks to him.
We work together.
Yes, yeah. Sadly, I can't ski this year, so. Travel basketball, we're up 10% for participation from last year, so up to 116 kids. We have 11 teams in the 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th divisions. Super excited about that. And games started 2 weeks ago, beginning of December. And it seems like it's going good so far. And our in-house pre-K through grade 2 program, which is more of a developmental learn to play program, that starts January 10th. And we're up to 152 kids, so up 6% from last year, up to 20 teams. Yeah, so really exciting. Huge increase in the kindergarten division specifically, about double the number from last year. So huge increase there. And based on feedback and input from coaches in the younger kids program from last year, I've worked to revamp the coaching resources to focus, have a weekly focus on specific fundamental skills, while still keeping that format the same, where it's 30-minute practice, 30-minute scrimmage, but providing coaches with more resources to help find drills and practice ideas to keep it fun and engaging, where the kids are building those fundamental skills. So when they get to that 3-4 level, they have a little bit more skill, which is exciting. And I just want to give a huge shout out to all of our volunteer coaches. I had such an overwhelming response to coach signups this year. I only had one hole to fill, and I sent one email out and got a volunteer within minutes of sending an email. So I just want to give a huge thank you to all of the parents, grandparents, neighbors, friends, family that volunteer to coach our youth sports programs, because they're not possible without volunteer coaches. So thank you.
Excellent.
Question that somebody had asked about Gunstock. Do we offer discount vouchers for people, or can discount passes through the rec?
So we don't, because it's actually a program. All the money goes to the mountain. The mountain does offer financial aid, but there's a deadline that they needed to submit it to. So if it's up to the parent to submit to the mountain.
Yeah, let me clarify that a little bit. So we offer a discounted season pass, but you have to sign up by a certain deadline, and the mountain has a very strict deadline of when that is. So unfortunately, we can't make any exceptions. And it's mid-November, before Thanksgiving. So that it's a pretty significant discount on the season pass, which is great. But if you were looking for a single day ticket, some places do sell discounted day tickets, lift tickets. You can get those at your local ski and board shop. We do not sell those, but it is something I'm looking into to see if it's something we could add on to our services.
Awesome.
But yeah, if someone is looking for a discounted lift ticket, I would recommend going to your Fire on the Mountain or your Ken Jones or something like that.
Perfect.
But I do believe the season pass does come with a couple discounted passes.
It does, yeah. As part of the deal with the mountain, with the outreach program, which is what we're part of, you get a discounted season pass, as well as I think it's 6 half-off lift tickets.
Yeah.
So you can bring a friend and it's half price for them, or bring an adult and it's half price for the adult, which is nice looking at those adult lift ticket prices these days. So it's a really, really great deal. And I encourage people to sign up. We have registration open from September through mid-November. So next year, be on the lookout.
And one thing I forgot to add for winter review, and Dave hasn't talked much, but Dave, you want to talk about the holiday block party?
Yeah, we had our holiday block party recently. It was a great turnout. Santa was present, as always. We did have some interesting weather that night. It was cold, it was windy, and we had a snow squall come through too. So unfortunately, it kind of pushed some of the crowds out. It was a little bit earlier night for us, but it was a really great turnout. I want to thank Dan and the student council for helping us out, as always, too, with the crafts we had. They're a huge hit.
Before they blew away.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We had good sponsor turnout as well. We partnered with the chamber for that event, so it was a really great night, other than the weather.
Can we do one more winter recap?
Yeah, go ahead.
Huge success on our Letters to Santa program. We had, I think, what did we say, it was like 100 more kids wrote in to Santa. So Santa and his elves have been very busy responding, so people should be receiving letters by next week, so that's exciting. And Santa did say that the mailbox is closed because he just doesn't have enough time to respond before Christmas.
If there's no other questions for winter review, we'll move on to park projects.
Yeah, since October 22nd, we've been busy in the Parks Division. Gilman Park is 75% complete, and I say 75. It was getting later in November, and Frankie reached out to me. He goes, Greg, I could groom this now, but you're gonna pay for me to come back in the spring. So instead of double charging us, he's like, pay me half for the project now, and then pay me the other half when I come back and finish grooming in the spring. So they'll be perfect. They came out so good. Just to recap, they dug down 8 inches, so there's 8 inches of real infield mix in it now. So it will drain well. And all the projects at Gilman came out absolutely incredible. So before the snow, the drainage was perfectly graded. So now there's no low spots, there's no wet spots. It's perfectly grassed over, wow. So it's easy to maintain. It looks good. Will be and the guardrail got put in, so no one drove over the newly graded area. So it really came out great. One thing I do need, it will be ideally, it needs to be stained green like the other one and some reflectors put onto it, but I think that'd be a good community service project in the spring. So we might put in for a couple day of carrings, like one doing that. One of the things, so Gilman Park has been it looks great. I was down there this morning walking it, so it does look great. The Hampton Road extension was already completed by our last meeting, so that hasn't changed. The Dan Healy pool is really transformed. I added a couple before and after pictures for you to give you a little sense of it. But
oh wow,
the new paint job in the inside, the flooring just blows you away when you walk in. It's very non-slippery. We got our partitions in delivered to us, so those are ready to go. My guys are going through. So we'll be on target in the spring to buy all new shelving and tables for the concession stand and get approval for the mini split we're going to put in the concession stand. So that will be a climate controlled area for our concession workers and our equipment. So it looks great. I think it's going to be a big improvement once it's all said and done. But it's a good winter project for my guys, but they had some challenges to get it completed. The epoxy floor, they were due to come in on Monday. On Thursday, we realized we had a drain backup. So Scott Thomas and Chad Dean, our guys, went and got a drain auger and auged it out, got it draining in time, washed it all down. So when the epoxy guys came in, I mean, they worked until 9, 10 o'clock at night to get it done because of the cold temperatures dropping. And I really am very impressed with the epoxy whiz that completed the project. So we're looking forward to the 2026 season. We still have a few things we're doing, and then which are mostly spray pad related. More concrete came in, cut things up really quickly for us. Covered Bridge Construction out of Manchester. Their price came in unbelievably low. They did the demo, they put in the new tank, but we had some extra digging to do, so we went slightly over budget. So that's going to be coming out of some pool maintenance line, because we found 6 or 7 fractures, 6 leaks in the spray pad. So there's our 500 gallons that was this going into the ground. And so that's all concreted up. They actually, the night they were doing, we had the holiday block party, that's when they were doing construction, and they were doing it in the middle, almost, they were finishing brushing it in the middle of that squall. So unfortunately, we did not get the grant that I applied for the tile floor, which is disappointing, but we are going to be in the spring, once it's dried out enough, we'll be going to the select board to get approval to buy the rubber surfacing. And they make a surfacing that matches pretty much what you see on the interior of the pool house. So it's going to mimic it, and that could be something down the line if we want to eventually do the whole pool deck so it matches, and it's rubber and it's non-slip, and even if kids fall, they're just going to bounce a little bit. So we're really thrilled. Scott does have some plumbing to do and some electrical work. We're working with DPW to move the electrical for the spray pad. Dave hasn't been in it, but it's freed up so much space in our filter room by getting a giant tank out that we had in there previously, and it'll be rearranged and make it a little more efficient in there for us, so we don't feel as crammed. So it was a great project, and Scott and Chad did a great job leading all of this, because I've been too busy, and so I have them do it. So kudos to the residents who voted for the Park Improvement Fund to get all of these projects done, and they'll be excited to see the final result in 2026.
Awesome. Any questions on any of the?
I just wanted to
Park
add one
updates?
thing about the walkway, is that the Parks crew has been plowing it too during the snow, and people have been able to walk a nice loop from our building down to Hampton to the pool and back. So it's created a really nice walking path that's plowed.
Yeah.
Great. All right, if there's no questions, we'll move on to discussion items. The first one was mine. The last time we met, I had talked about moving back to quarterly meetings. We've the department has accomplished many of the very large items, the building and all the updates. And so I was just looking to open discussion to switch to the quarterly meetings. I had stated the last time, I think it's really important. I can't tell you, I didn't bring my data that I wrote down, but we have not had a full complement of all the board members here in, I can't tell you when, probably over a year. And I think that everybody comes from diverse backgrounds and experience, so I think it's really important that we can commit to that. I was looking at March, June, September, and December. It comes in between the February and April break. Our June would be right as school is ending, right before everyone's away for summer vacations. September would give us enough time to get back into the swing of school, because I know usually that August meeting, it's right when we've started school or right before the students come. And we're pulling off the December meeting. I could see that one possibly, a hit or miss, but if we can just commit to it, I think it would just work better for everybody. And then obviously if there was something that we needed, we could add, I believe, could we add on a meeting, Greg, if we needed to, if there was something that came up?
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But besides this is after the financial, like the workshop we've already organized.
Right.
About financials.
Yes. And so I just thought I would throw it out, discussion, and see, what we could do. If the quarterly meetings might work better to have all board members, and I didn't know if a change of time might help folks better able to commit, whether that was moving it to 6:30 or 6, or so I just wanted to just maybe generate some discussion and thoughts on it.
I have one thought in that I think March is too late with the deliberative session in March. I think we should calendar in maybe February in case there's things we need to act on before town meeting.
Yeah, from there, for the way I was looking at it, because I went through all of them, I was like, oh, if we go January, I understand what you're saying. I was thinking it would be right after the town vote. But, I mean.
But I like the concept because it'd be good to have everyone here.
Another option too, and I do like cutting them down because I think we do get bogged down sometimes where we just don't have a lot of bulk of things to talk about. But I think is it facilities committee that does, they're scheduled every month, but they have a deadline date to cancel that month if there's nothing on the agenda. So like to Wes's point, like if you have something we need to talk about before deliberative session, then you at least have it on the books to say, all right, we have these items to talk about, we really do need to meet. I think it's a good option to be able to, and have like a hard, dead set date that you cancel it so that everybody prepares to, it's not like a last minute cancellation where people have planned like, so you've got them booked, but like by the 15th of the month before or something like that to say.
The good
okay,
thing this
nothing
year,
is-
Steph, we don't have anything on the warrant.
Right.
Yeah, so except the budget, which is very important. But, yeah, we don't have any separate warrant articles. So I see your point, yeah. So that's, obviously we can plan for 2027, like knowing that. But I like that as well. To meet, just to meet.
No.
Yeah, I'm open quarterly and pretty open on the dates. I'll let you guys hash it out, but depending on the month, whatever works best.
Yeah, I mean, and it certainly isn't something that we have to decide right now. I just would really love to see all members at the table.
And especially filling we have two alternates that, one, Rachel, obviously hasn't attended, but we can get her maybe to start attending more or attending. And then we have Danielle's old position that is vacant. So anyone in the public that's looking to join the rec advisory board to get a new voice would be outstanding as well. And maybe this is an option for them, like, 4 meetings instead of 12.
Would these be the 4, like, dates or months that you guys would pick?
I
think June makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Before the summer.
Yeah.
June is personally tough because spring sports and camp training.
Yeah.
Like I may or may not be able to attend a meeting because of camp training or camp starting.
Would May be too early before all of that, or would that be better?
I think May might be better, but my other thought was March might be too late to discuss any like changes that we're proposing for summer operations because we begin hiring now. Like we start being like we're hiring. So we would discuss any like changes to the program in like January, February, kind of before registrations open. So that would be my one thought, would be like a January meeting
Oh, that would be in December.
instead of a December?
No, a December
November, maybe.
Because we usually open registration in
Right.
early February.
Yeah.
Right.
So what would be ideal then? What months would be ideal? Like a February, a May, because then that puts us into August. If we were doing every 3 months, and I just know that August one is tough. You've got a couple school teachers and everybody getting their kids back to school, or
It's right when we're like,
right.
the summer,
You're
so.
at the end, right? You're at the end, and so The other reason why I picked these was because I felt like it was in between, like, so winter had finished, but you were already registered for spring, so it wasn't too busy for you guys. But I mean, I'm open. I just think that my end game and objective is just to get all of these chairs filled every time we meet.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't technically have to be every 3 months, right? Like, it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be evenly spaced. It should go with like the rhythms of your seasons. And so, I mean, September feels good. And honestly, like December feels good, like an end of the year sort of recap. And then maybe, February and May.
Yeah, and it doesn't need to, you can pick, I'd have to check with Pam on the availability of the room, and Exeter TV's availability, but it doesn't need to be like, it's up to you as the board how you would like to.
I would think that early February makes a lot of sense in that that's when there's a big lift coming up.
Right, because it's before we open spring sports registration. It's like right when we're opening camp and right before swim lesson. So it's kind of that good time of before everything.
Right. So February, then like a check-in before summer, like late May maybe.
Yeah.
So are you suggesting moving from the third Wednesday of every month and not being so rigid with that third Wednesday?
You probably want to do the third Wednesday because February would be vacation if we go later than that.
Right. Oh, no. Well, I thought you said early February. That's why I was.
Yeah, I am, I guess, Jen, kind of thinking that.
Right.
In that third week of February is usually school break.
Close to break, yeah.
Maybe if you looked at the first week of February and first week of May, and then first week of August would be tough, but
Yeah, you probably would go.
Yeah.
September would be tough
You probably
because
wanna go,
it's
like,
Labor Day,
mid-September.
first week,
Yeah.
but
From Labor Day.
but I think your concept is right on. It doesn't make a lot of sense to have meetings, especially if you have something to act on, there's no quorum.
And like, I think if there was something we needed to act on and we needed to vote.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always had that option to say we need a meeting.
Yep.
I like what Mike proposed, propose that early February, early May, because the end of May can be really tough
Yeah.
with staff training,
Yeah.
lifeguard classes, things like that. And then mid-September before powder keg,
Yep.
and then a recap December on the year.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
So we could go like February 11th. So that would be the second week of February. May 13th would be the second Wednesday. Let's see, Labor Day is going to be the 7th.
7th.
Labor Day is late, so then we go maybe
The
the
16th.
16th for September. And then
16th for
16th of
December.
December. Do you want me to make a motion for that?
Does that feel good to you guys? Like, would that work with your schedule and what you might need?
Yeah.
Potentially foresee what you might need from us?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to, just one other thing before you do a motion, do we want to stick with 7? Would it be better for people's schedules to be here at 6 or 6:30? Would that work for you guys? Would that work does that make it more difficult to stick to that?
I prefer 7 because it lets you get home from work, get people
Okay.
settled. If you have practice after school, you can dip out of practice a little early
Okay.
if you need to. I personally like 7. I know that makes you guys kind of stay.
It also gives me time to go home, have dinner with my kids and come back.
Okay.
So it doesn't really matter. I know
Okay.
Caroline travels the furthest. So
I just stay and get work done.
Yeah, I was just wrapping it all in there so we could just make one decision at one. So still keep it at
Seven.
the 7?
Yeah.
For me, later's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hard on these guys, but
So I'm going to make a motion to move to, I don't want to call it quarterly because I guess technically not, but 4 meetings, February 11th, May 13th, September 16th, and December 16th for 2026 Rec Advisory Board.
I second.
All right, we have a second for that motion. If you are in favor, we'll say aye. Jen Harrington, I say aye.
Mike Whistler, I say aye.
Step Custon, aye.
Dan Provost, aye.
Nick Norton, aye.
All right, then that passes for setting our dates for 2026. All right, and we will move on to the future of softball.
I can speak to this briefly. So the S in EJBSL has bedeviled our board for at least a generation, I would say, right, Coach Whistler? And there's a number of reasons why. It's essentially a travel program with a bunch of partner towns that a volunteer board has run essentially on their behalf. And so we consulted with Greg, a group from EJBSL consulted with Greg a couple months ago, started talking about how to shift it to an in-house league like we do with baseball. That was really well received by our board and by our volunteers. And lo and behold, when you kind of brought the volunteer requirement down into realistic expectations, turns out we do have enough volunteers to run that program, at least from the rookie ball level on up till they get to CMS. So we would just be looking for extra Parks and Rec to support the girls who want to play in the T-ball program, which they already do. So I don't anticipate anything changing on your end other than maybe some more field requests from us. So I think that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, and when I met with Dan, we were talking about like the experience baseball has created when you go to Walsh and Courier and trying to recreate that at the rec park, because we've put so much money in, especially past softball boards have put a lot of money into it. So how we could, especially with the community center there, how can we enhance it and make it, and what you don't fix what's not broken, and baseball has been doing it right in this town for decades. And it's a model of their volunteerism that really, and the pride, it's really a small town league that really impacts the kids a lot. So this is an opportunity for the girls really to find out, call Exeter home and stay in Exeter. And as a parent, all of you have had kids in travel pro. It is a burden when you suddenly have a Tuesday night game in Rye or a Tuesday night game in Greenland. Like, how do you get there and get out of work? So now it kind of, and make it an event in Exeter. And I think the partnership between the two organizations will always be strong, and we'll continue to foster that.
Great. Any other questions or discussion?
That sounds fantastic. And I would like to just go back to piggybacking on EJBSL and Gilman Park. Just thanks to Greg's staff and the town staff for, Gilman Park is kind of where EJBSL starts. And when I started with my oldest son, a long time ago, it was a really rough field, and it's much better, and it's through the town, EJBSL, it's gotten better, but that's where it starts. And I think Gilman Park and the improvements there are just fantastic.
Great.
Agreed.
All right, we will move on to court repairs.
Well, we wanted to keep, I know all the tennis court people and pickleball people, I've been clamoring. Since we were so busy with all the park projects we talked to, we had to table something. So we tabled the crack repair. We have the material, and we have a volunteer group that has said they would help our staff. And the nice thing is this crack repair material can be applied when it's 40 and above. So we can do it before the tennis and pickleball season really start. And so we're looking forward to that. And then when final numbers come in, we're definitely going to be looking to move forward with the 2 rebounding boards and give something once the cracks are fixed and the rebounding boards are up. So it kind of gives it a fresh look. Obviously, we still have court reconstruction way down the line, but we'll keep putting it together with spit and gum until we need to really move forward with it, knowing the budgetary constraints that the town is facing.
All right. Any questions or comments? All right, financial sustainability?
Turn it over to you two.
Do we want to talk about summer employees first? Because then we can use the rest of the time for financial sustainability.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, summer employees, we will be sending out emails to our staff in the coming days to see who's interested in returning, and then we'll be opening applications for our summer employment opportunities. So lifeguards, snack shack, pool managers, concession managers, all camp staff in January. Early January.
But college kids apply now.
Yes, yeah.
While they're home.
All right, any questions on summer employment? All right, circling back to financial sustainability?
So give me 1 second here.
Great,
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, can you remind me of the date of that workshop, or remind everybody of the date that was chosen for that workshop?
The financial sustainability.
Yeah,
January 28th from 5 to 8.
I have that on my radar.
thank you.
I'll bake cookies again or something.
Where is that meeting?
Could we have it at 10?
Can we have it
Does
at
need to be
10,
re-
Needs to be recorded.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, so let me double check and let everyone know.
Okay.
So,
That'd be nice if we could.
Is that something we have to have a quorum for, Greg?
It's a workshop. Let me double check with Melissa.
Okay.
I don't, usually it's best to have a quorum. 'cause
Right,
You want
okay.
everyone participating.
Right, exactly. No, I just didn't know if it was a requirement.
Just like when we did the mission statement, it's great to have everyone involved,
Yeah.
but.
So I think the biggest thing is, why are we doing this? So as we enter into like a new building and we're growing as a department, and we're facing new budgetary constraints and costs coming out of our rec revolving fund, we're being tasked, our department is being tasked with creating a budget within our rec revolving fund to cover some new overhead costs, including custodial services, our office supplies, maintenance, the water bill, things like that. So we need to create a game plan to move forward to ensure our department is financially sustainable and still able to grow, so we can, cover the costs of fun and exciting projects as they come up, and not impact the taxpayer. So we want to make sure all of us, like our staff, you all, the board, as well as like our senior council and some other stakeholders, are all on the same page when it comes to what service categories, we'll get into that in a minute, receive subsidies, whether that's taxpayer dollars and or grant funds. So looking at 2026 and onward, it is going to be difficult budget years, and everyone is kind of feeling this difficult economic climate. And we really want to be responsible with our investments, both with the general fund and taxpayer dollars, as well as our rec revolving fund, growing it, as well as investing into our programs and infrastructure responsibly from that revolving fund. So also backstory, David and I had the opportunity to attend an amazing financial sustainability workshop at the end of 2023. So this is a conversation that we've been having for a while, and we're really excited to kind of jump into this. So on the end of your packet, you have this little sheet here. So this is kind of a homework assignment. So what it is we're looking at our service categories. So you look at all the kind of programs, events, parks, infrastructure, things that our department is responsible for. We've broken them up into different service categories. And you can see all of them kind of described here. And then we've given you in italics is the examples of our programs that we have. So looking at these service categories, your task is to rank the service categories based on the definition of common good services to exclusive services. So you're going to rank like 1 through 11, the services that are most common good to the most exclusive.
Are these service categories like nationally recognized service categories, or did you guys come up with the categories?
They were given to us in this financial sustainability workshop that we went to.
And then you came up with the programs that are examples
Correct.
of that.
Yes.
Yeah. So of these, it's what we think is most important to Exeter,
So,
or most important to trying to raise additional funds?
So I'm trying to not use price in my description of this. But we want to look at things like how we're serving the common good versus how we're serving an individual. So I'm going to pick on a private lesson for something. Like if you're getting a private lesson that's only benefiting one person versus a public park or playground which services many more people.
Would it be, sorry to interrupt, but is it potential to service, like, or is it like actual enrollment numbers? So something like could like theoretically be available to all but gets lower enrollment. Like how would you want us to weigh?
That's a great question.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. And I feel like I'm comparing like park to park rather than like an open space to a program. But you're not wrong. Like, for instance, if you're comparing a park to a community event,
Right.
Both are open to the public. Maybe one gets more attendance than the other.
Right.
But I think it's up to you and what you think, you personally think.
But
And Dan,
but don't consider dollars because that comes after. Once
Correct,
we say what's
correct.
important, then we figure out where to
Correct.
put the money.
And
Yeah.
when you look at a program, like, yes, it may be open to everyone, but it may not interest everyone. So there's a differentiating factor there. Like, we could be offering a program that, yes, is open to anyone, but it's only a select few that like to do it. Like, I've got this Dungeons and Dragons.
Sure.
We got the Dungeons and Dragons Club. Not everyone is gonna clamor to go do Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
But it's open to anyone, so I could walk in tomorrow and say, hey, I want to do Dungeons and Dragons with you. Here's my dice. Yes, I played it before, but at the same time, don't factor in pricing because obviously we want to be on the same page of what our priority with, as Caroline alluded. There are budgetary constraints coming down the line, especially with the new building, that we're going to have to factor in and make sure that the rec revolving fund stays sustainable.
So things like, I mean, I'm just pulling from the definitions, like what we would consider to be must-haves. Mm-hmm. They have community-wide impact. Community-wide impact doesn't necessarily mean community-wide appeal, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, it could be that it appeals to a small few, but it has a large impact. Like, I think of something like, I mean, honestly, the sweetheart dances, right? Mm-hmm. Like, hearing about that, hearing that it's offered is almost as valuable as actually attending. You know, like when you live in a town, you're like, oh, that's a great thing that we do, right? Has an impact, even though maybe I don't go to the dance.
Let's run through all of these service categories, because I think when you see all of them kind of grouped together, it kind of helps clarify a little bit where that we grouped into a special event,
Right.
which is different than a community event. So you might rank those differently.
Okay.
Or you might rank them the same. So anyway, we'll just kind of run through these, and then we can go over the definition of common good services and exclusive services. And then we just ask that in January, you come back with this kind of filled out, ready to discuss. Because when we did it, I think like everyone in the room had a different ranking. And there was like 40 people at this workshop, and we all had different things. But we all had some commonalities. So it's just an interesting activity. So beginner activities, these are classes, clinics, workshops, and other led or instructed activities, which include instruction, and the primary goal is to introduce participants to a skill at a learn-to level. So examples would be most of our youth sports, t-ball, etc. Learn-to art programs, intro to pickleball, tennis in the parks, group swim lessons, our tech tips program, our gymnastics program. We have a learn to make sourdough, a quilling 101. So that kind of learn to or introduction to program. So next,
I got that number one. We ready to go?
Hold that thought. Next are community events. So annual events planned to be appealing and accessible to a majority of or the entire community, regardless of age, ability, skill, family composition, etc. So our examples for this were the holiday block party, our Independence Day fireworks, our summer concert series, our Black Hawk in the Park event. Next, we have drop-in activities. So activities that require registration and may have a small fee. Weekly attendance is not required. These programs are self-directed and include a staff or volunteer supervision or oversight. So our examples of this were our open basketball, pickleball, tennis programs, our senior crafts, our senior lunches, our lunch and games bowling program, our walk and talk program, outdoor pool and splash pad, and our letters to Santa program. Next, we have education and enrichment. So classes, clinics, workshops, and other led or supervised activities in which the primary intent is to provide socialization, interaction, and life skills development with a focus on education and lifelong learning. So our day camps, specialty camps, our senior trips, lecture series, music classes, our Families First play group, our Move with Ease program, things like that. Next, we have human services which focus on preventing and remediating life challenges and maintaining independence and connection to community by linking and or providing resources for those in need. These services may be provided in response to climate emergencies. So examples that we offer are our Medicare open office hours, our senior resource fair, and our senior resource guide. And then our building, I believe, is going to be a warming and cooling center. And then we also we're going to be doing a How to Spot a Scam series. So those are our examples for that. Intermediate advanced activities. So these would be classes, clinics, workshops, leagues, and other led or instructed activities in which the primary intent is to advance or master a skill. So that would be our intermediate advanced martial arts classes, our aqua Zumba, chair yoga, intermediate advanced pickleball, cardio tennis, level 4 and up swim lessons. Excuse me. Do you want to talk a
Yeah,
little bit?
absolutely. Give me a break.
Thanks.
Next, open access. So these are access to parks, park amenities, and/or facilities, which does not include supervision or oversight by staff, and activity is self-directed by the user or participant. So some examples that we have are outdoor sport courts, skate park, our playgrounds, our parks, town dock. Next is our private, semi-private activities, specialized classes, clinics, workshops, and other led and/or instructed activities offered in a private setting to meet the unique needs, interests, and/or skill sets of individuals and small groups. Some examples we have are private swim lessons, private pickleball lessons, private tennis lessons, and our semi-private lessons. And we have rentals and reservations, so space, equipment, facility reservations for exclusive use by an individual or group. We have field rentals. We do our rec facility building rentals, which include meeting space rentals. We have equipment rentals, like our kayaks, snowshoes. We do pool rentals. We have court rentals as well. And then resale, so these are consumable and non-consumable goods available for purchase. So we sell obviously a lot of food at our concession stand, and we've talked about selling merchandise down the road as well, some sweatshirts, hats, and things like that. And then last is our special events. So these are events designed for a niche market or a specific interest, and our examples are Halloween parade or downtown trick or treat, egg hunt, powder keg, the Sweethearts dance, senior prom, which we're working on for in May. I don't know if we've mentioned that to you all, but really excited about that. So those ones, again, not to talk about dollars, but the special events, most of those do require a fee, whereas the community events do not require a fee. So we will eventually get to dollars, and just to provide a little context too, the training that we were offered and attended has to do, it's a lot of these Western and Southern rec departments that have a large budget, and they invest a lot of taxpayer dollars into their programs, unlike us where it's all funded through the rec revolving fund. That this is an exercise for these bigger departments. It's going to be useful for us too, but this is a very important exercise for them, because this really, you start to think about, where should we be investing taxpayer dollars? Mm-hmm. Should we be subsidizing, that niche rock climbing for, a very small group, or should we be subsidizing a community event that appeals to majority of the community? So we will eventually get there, but for this exercise, try not to think about that right now, and just trying to rank them from, the common good, which program or service category is going to have the greatest effect on the common good, and then rank that down to, your most exclusive services. So we'll definitely recap and go over all of this at that January meeting, as well as some other exercises. And it's the right time. As Caroline said, now that we're in the new building, we're going to be paying for a little bit more than we have out of the rec revolving for some of our overhead costs. So just making sure that we're financially responsible and moving forward in the right direction, and hopefully even build some reserves for other projects and stuff down the line, and making sure we're in a good place.
And also looking at, is there any gaps in services that we aren't doing that we should be?
Yeah.
So looking at that as well, just to make sure we can then invest in it.
Yep. We've done a really good job the last 3 years, and I gotta say, Caroline has been a big component on the scholarships that we've done for camp and other programs. I know when I started here, we didn't really have much of any of that, and it's really grown. So, this exercise is really gonna help us look at okay, so how do we also put some money aside and keep that, pot growing to continue to offer those as well.
Right, to make our services accessible to everyone in our community. And for those watching at home, if you aren't part of the Are You In program, I highly recommend it if you have school-age children. It's a great way. They kind of serve as a how would you say it, a financial...
Conduit, really.
A clearinghouse, yes, a clearinghouse, so that you get this little card, and all you have to do is call and tell us your card number, show us a picture of your card number, or come in with your card, and it unlocks free or discounted registration to some of our programs, as well as programs across the seacoast. So not just us, but programs across the seacoast. So definitely look at the Key Collective Are You In program. And thank you to them for their partnership.
Awesome. So our task is to rank those and have that ready for the workshop on January 20th.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Got it. All right.
Steph is going to town already. She's
Yep.
Can do.
It's nice to be able to do that.
It's funny, we had some great debates when we did this, of like, why would you put that at 3 and not 5? And so it was really interesting.
All right, moving on to any new business?
I guess, Dave, you want to talk about the senior prom during new business?
Yes, so Lori Warner, our senior coordinator, has been working on a senior prom that is going to be, I believe it's May 15th, up at the Rockingham Ballroom in Newmarket. Yes, very exciting. We haven't officially posted it yet or open registration. We're gonna do a site visit and just get all of our ducks in a row before we post that. But if there's any businesses out there that would like to sponsor it, we'd be more than happy to have you join the event. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Music, obviously, food, dancing. I believe there'll be a photo booth. And it's going to just be a really fun evening for older adults coming up in May. So we're really excited about that. Lots of other programs that we have going on, too. For all ages, so it's great being in the new building.
Yeah, I'm looking to add a February family craft, youth and family crafts, so looking to make Valentines and some Valentine decorations. So info on that will be coming out soon.
And one more thing I wanted to add too, we were just talking about this today, is as you all know, we offer a men's over 30 basketball program. We would love if there are any passionate ladies out there that would like to get, whether it's basketball, soccer, whatever sport it is, we'd love to, offer some of that too. We just also sat down with a couple residents that want to start a men's over 68 soccer program too. So that really is kind of what got the conversation going.
Over 68.
Over 68.
They have been invited to a league out of Boston that travels all over Massachusetts and New Hampshire. There's teams in Londonderry, but yeah, it's 68 and over.
Wow.
And these are active adults.
There are other
in our
New Hampshire
community.
teams?
They're Londonderry, Nashua,
Awesome.
Manchester, and they were talking about the diversity of the program. They got out of certain communities, like an Italian team, they speak Italian, or so it is a legit and these guys are very passionate. So it's they want to use a field, rent a field from us during our non-peak hours. So it's a win-win for us. So when Dave and I met with them, and these guys are absolutely phenomenal to talk to.
Will you send me their contact? That's a New Hampshire Chronicle waiting to happen.
Yeah. Really,
Yeah, it is.
that's awesome.
Excellent. Any other new business?
One question, you mentioned scholarships, and it's kind of late for getting out there for Christmas, but I didn't see anything on social media about
Thank you for bringing that up.
scholarship.
We do have our
opportunities.
scholarship tree up, so you can come in. I think we just haven't posted it. We've had so much going on with the building. But we do have, so that's a good reminder. I'll make sure to post that tomorrow. But we do have our scholarship tree, so you can come and sponsor a youth program, a child to attend a youth program for free. So everything from summer camp to swim lessons to tennis, pretty much every youth program we offer.
Good.
So it's really great. We gave out, I calculated the number and it was astonishing, and I don't have it off the top of my head, but I know off the top of my head I gave out 27 camp scholarships. So
That's great.
yeah, it's really, it goes such a long way to really impact and help these kids. And we'll take any dollar amount.
Do we have a Toys for Tots drop off at the
I think the fire department.
The fire
Yeah,
department
okay.
does
Yes.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the elementary schools, we do something within the for the families of the school-aged K through 5. We had that last Saturday.
And
Do you guys open that to the public to be able to, like, donate if there's any?
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean,
How
it's
would we-
passed.
Oh, it is, okay.
It's passed, but I'd have to ask Chris Clifford. I think it might have been put out there through the PTO.
Okay.
It certainly went out to teachers.
Okay.
But I will ask about next year about
Awesome.
putting that out to the public.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And one last thing, Madam Chair, we did have a resident reach out and ask why we don't have an ice rink. It's been an unusually cold December compared to years past. We were just too busy, but we do plan on eventually launching because we got that donation from PEA. And especially now that we're up at the 10 Hampton Road, we could have an ice rink on the basketball court next year. We just have to figure out logistics. But this person is so passionate, they are already trying to get connections for next year for sponsorship. And especially this person is friends with the former Bruin, so hopefully that helps. So,
Could you let this person know that we have alternate spots open?
I yes.
That would be a good person to
Yeah.
have.
And I bet you this person may say yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any old business?
Can I just ask a question about 10 Hampton Road? I was wondering too, do we have cameras set up there, exterior cameras set up, or like something that like triggers? I was just thinking this because I know in Bedford, I remember we had years and years ago, we had cameras and like a sensor that would trigger like 11 o'clock drive-in, someone going in, and it would trigger the police to like just kind of do a drive-by to see.
We don't have
if there's anything on
any
there.
exterior cameras. I am in talking with our IT department by adding a few, because even now, the cameras we have installed throughout the building, we do notice there's blind spots.
Yeah.
So we want to have some cameras, and I can tell you the police have definitely been patrolling,
Yeah.
because I had an email from dispatch, and the door to the vestibule is unlocked always, because it's the vestibule. So we're utilizing it as a Parks and Rec. Caroline put uniforms out there for coaches, so they could easily get something, and we didn't have to be there. So they noticed it was locked, but they couldn't. The interior was locked. So
Squad.
we are adding more cameras in 2026 and
Yeah.
beyond.
I was thinking for a safety standpoint too, because I know there were some issues, and there's, with, I hate to say it, we're all adults probably watching, but like kids going back there and parking back there, and like there were some major issues in some towns with, and the cops were at least notified, could come by and make sure that all parties involved were safe and okay, and
Yep.
then said go away. But it was, a couple towns had some really serious issues that got reported in of girls, and
I'll bring it up to IT and
Yeah,
talk
it's
to the
really
police
a
and
good
figure
idea.
out if we can think of something.
yeah.
All right. If there's no other old business.
One more.
Oh, David's
One
got
more
something.
thing I should have mentioned during new business, but we're partnering with Phillips Exeter Academy and their music department for a free community concert on February 11th at the town hall from 1 to 2 p.m. Was that a meeting?
Yes, it's a meeting.
Yeah.
So earlier in the day.
But yeah, thank you to Phillips Exeter Academy they are a great partner of ours, allowing us to use their indoor track, which we now use twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, for indoor walking, and we're really excited to offer this free concert to the community.
I have one more thing too. We have our final senior luncheon of the year on Friday, so our holiday senior luncheon. So if anyone isn't working on Friday and wants to pop in and help serve, the more the merrier.
What time?
What time?
11:30 to 1
Is it at the town hall or
at
10
Town Hall.
the town hall?
Yes, yeah.
We have a bougie menu, so.
What time do you need serving help?
From 11 to like 12:30. 12:15.
Hoping to get off work early Friday. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm thinking I have a meeting at 2, but I might be able to jump in. I'll let you know before. I'd love to.
I will be grilling in the rain.
It's gonna be warm.
Supposed to be
at least.
pouring.
Yeah, it is gonna be warm, it'll be
But
nice and steamy.
I'll have a pop-up tent, but it'll
Yeah.
be a little
We have
wet.
some nice food. We have a quartet singing some holiday songs. It's a it's a good one.
Nice. Anything else? All right, if there's nothing else, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn this meeting.
I'll second.
All right. Roll call to adjourn. All
No, you
right.
don't need to vote.
Those in favor to adjourn, Jen Harrington, yes.
Mike Whistler, yes?
Steph Papp, yes?
Dan Provost, yes.
Nick Norton, yes.
He's awake.
Nick, hang in there.
Nick, right on, Nick.
Meeting is
Thank you for
adjourned.
tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.